Start thinking positive. Get away from the wrong people. Stop looking up to the wrong people. That's all I'm gonna basically say to you. They're not giving you no game, man, daily trying to motivate you to get on the right track, then you're doing something wrong. You know what I'm saying? That's what I say.
Successful people fail a lot. They fail a whole lot more than they succeed. You have to get comfortable with failure. Failure is where all of the lessons are. So fail early, fail often, fail forward.
It's Geronimo, my nation. What's up? Real talk question for the day. What you think happens to the mind of a child after he watch a grown man beat up his mama? That child's mind is warped. A 6-year-old walking around thinking about murdering somebody, messing up in school, approaches and deals with bullies differently because of what he's been exposed to. Real fathers, stand up. Don't hit that woman in front of that child. Try not to hit that woman at all.
What is America built off of?
Violence and entrepreneurship.
So if you had to tell another 6-year-old like yourself what to look out for, what would you tell them?
They would kill you for the right price.
Are you a buyer or a seller?
A seller.
If I gave you $1 million right now, would you buy a candy or a candy store?
A candy store.
What is the goal to be?
Independent.
If you lost everything tonight, what you got tomorrow?
Intellectual property.
And what is intellectual property?
They can take your possessions, but they can't take your minds.
How do you say group economics in Spanish?
Economía de grupo.
How do you say barter system?
Sistema de cambio.
If I gave you something for $500 and you flipped it to the next man for $2,000, what is that called?
Upselling.
All right, now me as your leader, as your father, the person that's supposed to have your best interest. If I celebrate holidays and Christmas your entire life and you got to go beg somebody for a job at 18, what did I do?
You failed me financially.
And I want you to tell me, how fast can somebody be a victim of gun violence in America?
The lion cannot tell the zebra, the impala, or the water buffalo how to get away. He can't. If I tell you how to get away, what do I eat? What do I eat? Either I become a vegetarian or I eat my own kind, right? So he can't. And if he did, they would tell one another how to get away. Same thing with this. The upper echelon are the financial predators. We are the financial predators.
Most people don't know that secondary bureaus is what is some of the companies that verify your data. So you got companies like Innovis, CoreLogics, LexisNexis, SageStream, ARS. These are all companies that house secondary data when it comes to your credit. So they're just data furnishing companies. So when you dispute something, a lot of times they're the ones who verify it. Well, I found out that CoreLogic was the one who verified evictions and convictions. At that point, when I realized that CoreLogic is the company that verifies evictions and convictions, I knew. I said, listen, you mean to tell me that I can fix somebody's credit, but they still get the denial? Well, if I opt out of CoreLogic, if you got an eviction, you still can get the approval. If you got a conviction, you can get the approval because I never gave them permission to share that data and that information. So now when you go to get an apartment, now, right, somebody who's in a position, they go, listen, well, I can help people get apartments. So if you understand how to clean your credit and opt out of the secondary bureaus, you opt out of CoreLogics, now you can go and get an approval for an apartment.
Because that's a big thing that holds people from getting apartments is that.
Yep. So essentially like this, I'll break down the whole blueprint. This is what you're going to do, is that you're going to opt out and suppress your CoreLogics, LexisNexis, SageStream, ARS, Innovis. You're going to suppress all of those. Once you suppress those, now you're going to force the credit bureaus to do an investigation with a 609 letter. So you use a 609 dispute letter. When you send that 609 dispute letter in, it's going to make them either verify that this account is accurate and verify that it belongs to you. Well, now, since they don't have anybody to check the accuracies with, they're going to now have to do an investigation. Most likely, most of the things, 60 to 70% of the negative items get removed because you already removed the middleman company who's verifying everything. So now once you do that, when you go to apply for apartments, you now can go and apply. And if you've ever been evicted, it's not going to show up because you suppress CoreLogics. And if you got a felony on your background, it's not going to show up because you've suppressed the CoreLogic company.
It's really a setup. The government is just letting you just go put it through, and everybody is forgetting that this is a government loan. So it's not regular jail. You're actually going to the FBI coming for you, not the regular police. It's an easy lockup for 20 racks. You just put anything on the application.
Right? Franchise opportunities like a Marco's Pizza. You can start a Marco's Pizza from $100,000 to $150,000 out of pocket, right? But what that does is it brings in about $300,000 a year, but it gives an income to family members. So now they have a sense of ownership, right? A sense of owning their own business, right? Having a family business that the nieces and nephews can work at, your kids can work at, and just get the ownership aspect of it, not just being an employee. So they understand food costs. They understand, you know, when somebody orders a pizza and they don't come get it, right? Or whatever it may be, they understand the ownership aspect of it. And this is just an example of one franchise that's available, with several others out there, like storage units and things like that I already told you guys about. But my goal is that we don't always have to start our own business. Sometimes we can go out and get somebody else's blueprint that's already successful, a name that's already been established, use that to build and grow our ownership in our own community, in our own family.
If she got it from my stomach, acting brand new like she ain't used to let us run her. Click box come with a price tag on it. Fire top come with a price tag on it. Tell me what's the cost, I can spread a couple hundred. And money ain't nothing, I'ma buy it if I want it. What it cost, what it cost.
All right, listen. I'm finna tell y'all how you can get business credit, business funding with business credit in 3 days. Now, first I want to talk to y'all about actually having good personal credit. Now, personal credit is step one to actually getting anything you want, because most of the time businesses say, okay, how is your personal credit? Now, but in this video, you know, like I said, on Kevo Fans, I'm gonna give y'all some sauce on how to bypass the personal credit and actually get approved loans strictly with just your business credit. Now, the first step to doing this, you will have to set up a business. Now, your business can either be an S corporation, it can be a C corporation, it can be an LLC, however you want to set up your business, but you do have to set up a business. You will actually get your business. After you get your business, my suggestions will be registering it in your
biggest something I picked up from being around billionaires.
Right.
When you get to a certain level of money, it take all the pressure off you. Now you could just sit back and do what it is you enjoy. You understand? That's just like sitting here creating this content.
Yeah.
This shit is a blessing, really.
With assets and liabilities, we're stuck, and the only realistic liability we have in today's society is our mindset. The way that we can think, the way that we can judge, and the way that we can execute. So when people look at a vehicle, now I just turn that vehicle, which most people say is a liability, into an asset. So you mean to tell me, they go, oh, you should leasing because cars are depreciating, they're depreciating liabilities.
Right.
But in today's society, we got apps like Turo.
Right.
In today's society, we got things like Hire Car. In today's society, we got Tyler Perry Studios in Atlanta that movie sets that literally rent cars and
can relate to, and who can break the message down the best. So for me, it was simple. We like to wear designer clothes. I love Louis Vuitton. I love Gucci. I love Prada.
Don't forget Fendi.
I love Fendi. Love Fendi. And all my homies drink Hen. They're all owned, well, most of them are owned by a business called LVMH.
LVMH, yep.
Which the guy is like in the top 3 richest people in the world.
Yeah.
So if Louis Vuitton, Moet, and Hennessy own YSL, and they own Louis Vuitton, and they own Hennessy, and they own Moet, and this is what we buying in the club, it feel different when you own it. So I used to tell my partners, if we gonna go to the club, why not just own it, and now we flexing different? We stunting different because now we own Hennessy. So every bottle you pop is your own business.
People, the world is not the same, bro. It's so much hate out here. Like when you start getting successful, now when you not broke, no hate. When you got a lot of money and got stuff going on, it's a whole lot of hate. Even if you do stuff for people, you even have your whole own family members hating on you. You might do something for them, right, bro? And then 1 month you don't do something for them. Everything that you did for them doesn't matter. What matters is the day that they asked you to do something for them.
They don't even do what they tell us to do. Right. Save your money. And then they tell us, buy a house. The banks are the ones that sold us on a house. Okay? You eat eggs and bacon for breakfast because somebody came out with a program that said breakfast is the meal of the day. And that saved the pork in the chicken industry and farmers around the country. We're being lied to every day, man. 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck, and most everybody is playing the game by the rules. Okay? It's like going to Vegas.
That's when you get hurt.
You playing by the rules.
Yeah.
And you're playing by the middle class rules. Poverty's not the problem in this country. It's the middle that's the real problem. 76% of Americans live paycheck to paycheck. They're buying houses, they're buying life insurance, they're dabbling in the stock market, they got IRA accounts and 401ks, bullshit, lie programs. See your money in 40 years. It'll be here for you when you get here.
Yes, scamming is bad. I don't recommend people to do scamming, but you know, when it's be funny when people try to say, oh, you're a criminal, you're just a scammer, you don't work hard for your money and this and that. But they will get scammed by the white man, right? Okay, for instance, let's talk about this scam. So you work at McDonald's. McDonald's is making billions of dollars, but they're only giving you $200 a week. To me, I think that's a scam. You know what I mean? But you don't think it's a scam because in your head, they say that it's legal. It's a job. You get what I'm saying? So it's different types of things out here where you got to think about like what's going on. Everybody had their ways of coming up. Everybody did something, right, to get ahead in life. I don't know what it might have been. It could have been in your head legal, you know what I mean, or illegal, but legal.
Hey y'all, their favorite line be, man, you teaching some real shit, but I think it's a scam. No, what's a scam is going to school for 12 motherfucking years and still being a goddamn fool, broke mentally and financially by the time you're 20. What's a scam is signing up for a job that you actually wasted time to go get a degree for and you still broken and changed by the time you're 40. What's a scam is giving a motherfucker 30 years of your life for a pension that's not even going to keep up with the cost of inflation nor the cost of living by the time you're 80 years old. That's a scam. Get your pen.
It is very important that you own your own domain and pay for your hosting so that you don't have to worry about being shut down. That's the most important thing. And it doesn't have to be super duper fancy. Well, I don't know the first thing about building a website. You don't have to. There's Fiverr, there's Upwork, there's VA, where you can go and get a VA in the Philippines who can build your website out for you. You tell them what you want and then they'll put it up there. And if you don't like it, you can hook it up.
The people who say credit is the devil and this is the reason why so many black people are struggling, you know, because you have credit cards in college or students who going to college. I know me and all my homies couldn't wait when we got to college with little boo sitting there signing up for a credit card. We signed up for unsecured credit cards, even though the balance was $1,000. We went out and spent that $1,000 and now we didn't pay our bill. Now here we are hiring you.
You can't hire me to do your credit, one, for them, right?
Well, trying to hire you.
But that's my point of why I'm here, right? Is to give people that strategy to where, listen, you could generate cash and an income stream from credit instead of going into debt. That's where we have to stop. That's where our education barrier lies because people don't know to actually go out and say, okay, how can I use this to my benefit?
Yeah.
Right? So if I can use credit to a benefit, not an actual, make it an asset versus a liability, right? I don't pay for groceries. I don't pay for utility bills. I don't pay my mortgage, all off of credit.
But anybody in that 9 to 5, bro, I would simply tell them, like, don't die there. And I don't mean in the physical. I don't mean like in a literal sense. I mean more in the mental. Because a lot of us get complacent. A lot of us get, we just get worn out with the wear and tear that goes to the mind and the body in terms of adulting, that we forget to chase those childlike aspirations that we had from 20 years ago. Like most people watching this video, you're not doing what you said at 6 years old when somebody asked you what you want to do when you grow up. You feel me? So you gotta really sit down with yourself and decide, like, you gonna stay true to you or you just gonna conform and do what society told you grown people supposed to do once they hit a certain age.
What's your greatest life lesson?
Never be too smart to unlearn and relearn. Just the stuff they teach you in school, man. Just the stuff you learn within your own household, your parents, your loved ones, and we kind of forced to believe them. And sometimes when you get older, man, you know right from wrong, and most importantly, you start to realize that half the shit you were taught was bullshit or it wasn't right. So just never be too smart to unlearn and relearn. Wise person told me that.
I may be a loner, but y'all hang out with people that talk shit about y'all.
Give me back, tatted on the back, I'm tatted on her neck. You can't call it back. Shawty wanna live, shawty wanna live, shawty wanna roll, shawty wanna get.
That's what you guys got to realize. We're teaching us how to boss up. You know, we're tired of saying we're a poor culture, we one of the poorest cultures in the world. No, we spend trillions of dollars. Why we don't have money coming back that we able to dictate where it goes. And you know, we buy a lot of product that even in stocks, like why I said, we buy a lot of product, but we don't even invest in the products that we like.
Really use the areas you struggled with most to be a blessing to other people. Let me tell you what I mean. Some of y'all know me for real in real life, and you know that I used to have a really bad problem with my mouth. I mean, I would weaponize my words. I held no mercy for anybody. If I was mad, I don't fight fair. I head below the belt, right? When it comes to arguments, I don't fight right. I fight dirty. Well, I used to. When it comes to any unhealthy behavior, sometimes it can take years of practice, intentionality, being frustrated, being called out to be able to do better and to learn a new way of being in relationship. I'm no exception to that. Even as a therapist, I have my own personal struggles with being able to communicate effectively in a healthy way. All of that to say, I've learned my lessons and I'm here to share them with you. So Sis is being featured in articles now. Check the link in my bio and read the article.
If you can't beat the fear, just do it scared.
You capping with a female. If you don't have a lot, if you don't, we're not saying it's all about money. Because a lot of these girls is just like, oh, well, you know, they don't care about money. They're capping. They got Instagrams, they got Snapchats, they got Twitters. They seeing the little babies and the Jadas and they seeing all the relationship goal shit, and they gotta lay with you. You don't take them out to eat. You don't buy them gifts. You don't buy them bags, right? Let's be honest with ourselves. Okay, cool. So they gotta sit back and watch the lifestyle, but only thing that you can give them is a combo. So how easy can you be replaced? You are very easy to be replaced.
Can we talk about how grateful we are for the things that did not work out? All of the no's that we got, all of the prayers not answered, jobs we didn't get, relationships that didn't work out, those things we thought we wanted, but the universe was like, no, boo, you deserve better.
Street guys don't have 100K saved up. What's your thoughts on that? He said the scammers are doing good, the hustlers are doing good, but a lot of the street cats that, you know, the shooters and the goons and the steppers.
Just because most of those, the real street cats, that's not really their focus. Their focus is getting that hood clout of, I'm a killer, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm the tough guy. They only focus on that. And me and you both know in life you get what you focus on. So if you focus on money, you're going to get some money because you're going to put yourself around it. You know what I mean? You're going to always talk about it. You're always going to plant that seed. You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like, and that shit can really be controlled off one like this. And they're going to, let's see how these Americans act if we take power away. I bet you they take that vaccination with that power away. Because niggas need their phones. They gonna panic.
Man, it's getting crazy.
Man. Hey, but guess what? At the end of the day, like with the bunkers and all that, you on the ground and you comfortable. That's why some of the rich people, man, they got the craziest bunker. They got under like mansion bunkers, bro. That way, while all the bullshit going up top and they locking everybody up and shooting everybody. Cause it's a time. That's why it's good. If you don't have a gun permit, that's why it's good to go get a gun permit and learn how to shoot and learn how to, you know, survive. You know what I mean? Surviving is very important. That's why sometimes when I be watching them Animal Planet shows, and well, not Animal Planet, but Life of the Survival in the Jungle and all that, that should be real because that can really happen. We living in this and we're comfortable. But they can change it all around like that.
Yep.
Because everybody thinks that life is designed to live just like what we're living like. It's not, bro.
It's not.
It's not. Like, even that's why when I got locked up and they changed my whole transformation of life, like in seconds, I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? What's this? What's that? Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, damn, it was a whole different world. In the same way, if everybody started not listening, they're going to change the whole world around. You're going to just be hearing this, hearing that. You're going to be scared to go here because everybody on survivor mode. And some people don't know how to carry a gun, don't know how to properly shoot, don't know how to properly survive. You know what I mean? Don't know how to fight. You feel me? So life is important, bro. You got to just know how to really maneuver.
So listen, there's a responsible way to do things and an irresponsible way to do things. Is it responsible to spend all your money on designer clothes? Absolutely not. But is it responsible if you can convert a liability into an asset and acquire these things for free while building a business as an entrepreneur? Absolutely yes. One of the key things to building a business is marketing and advertising. So if you can't properly run ads and to scale your business will never succeed. Okay, so that's one of the things that I need you guys to understand and always have that mindset, is to be able to scale your business. Okay, so let me explain something to you. When it comes to running ads, one of the cool things that I did was I spent $100,000 on ads. That $100,000 then brought me $875,000 in sales. So I had my $1 million month, right? It's tracked. That $1 million month was capital. So now I can use the reward points that I generated from running ads off my credit card using somebody else's money. Literally, I used $100,000 of somebody else's money to market and advertise my business to make me $1 million in a month, right? Guess what happens next, right? Now I accumulated a ton of reward points. So with the reward points, my business makes money and my business is growing. So what do I do with the reward points? I can do whatever I desire, right? So guess what? Listen, I went to Louis Vuitton, 11/14. I spent $6,000. Guess what happens now? Boom. Use points. Read that, right? I have successfully acquired, just went and spent, had a whole shopping spree with the bank's money, rewarding me for using their money to make money. Nobody can tell you how to dress or how you should do things. You dress how you want to dress, and if it's things that you desire, just get it responsibly. Listen, I just turned credit to cash and drip. Don't stop playing on me. Let's just say you don't have a super strong profile, okay? And if you don't have a strong profile, what you're gonna do is 660, 680. That's no negative derogatory marks. You have to remove the negative items. So this is if you got 100% payment history, 2 to 3 inquiries. You may have super strong, so you may have a year, 2 years history. You'll be okay for Navy Federal. At least 3 or 4 accounts, positive accounts in your credit report. And no derogatory marks. I'm showing you how to remove derogatories, and you want to have your credit utilization under 9%, right? Preferably, if it's at 15, 20 with Navy Federal, you'll be okay. You still get an approval, okay?
Using debit cards, bro, from fees to open up banking accounts to charging you fees to, bro, it's all money, money, money. Then you got these dummies out here that be like, it's not all about money. I don't know what they see. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I don't know what they see.
The world is all about money.
Okay, look, this is how crazy jail works. Jail works like this. You go to jail, you have to get a bond. You have to pay that bond. As soon as you get in jail, you have to use that phone. That phone costs. You want commissary? Commissary costs. On top of that, the government is getting paid for you while you're in jail. You feel me? Like, bro, and on top of that, police get bonuses for locking more people up. It's not that they're just doing their jobs. No, we need more tickets, pull more people over, lock more people up. If they don't get a certain amount of tickets a month, that person will get less hours. Did you know that? That's why sometimes at the end of the month, pay attention, at the end of the month, you see so many cars pulled over like unusual. That's why at the end of the months, Friday, Saturdays, Sundays, and at the end of the months, you see all them roadblocks. You know what I mean? You just gotta start paying attention to certain things. They get real petty with the seatbelts and this and that, and they start doing more work than they supposed to. Why do you think that they want to just lock you up? They get paid more money. They get bonuses also.
Is what I got. You limit yourself, and nobody comes along and teaches you anything different.
So give them those 3 things again that wealthy people
So
do.
he said, wealthy people stop trading time for money. They start making their money work for them, and they give value to as much value to people as they can. The caveat, I mean, we got a little deeper into that. He said, the reason why you give people so much value is because if you give them so much value, they'll never leave you, and they'll always be there for you, and you will never need for anything as long as you give value to people. And so I learned that as I got older. That part really didn't make sense to me at the time, but the money working for you part, and I was like, how do you make your money work for you? Again, all I know is how to go get money. That's all I know. So later on in that, he says wealthy people do 3 things. So we in a cell for about 45 days. So all of his conversations, now that you said, it never was black or white. Every conversation with him about money and transition was always wealthy people do. It wasn't white people do, it wasn't black people, it was always wealthy people do this.